Peace. This is a Meat and Potato Sorcery production starring myself, the Water Alchemist, and today's topic for the occult family is your mind is here to sabotage you. Now, I think people sometimes overlook how powerful the mind is. Everything starts and begins with one's mental. So whatever you put in your conscious mind, the subconscious really is backup. It's just going to reinforce what starts with your mental. And a lot of people always ask me, well, where do I begin? Where do I begin? Where do I begin? And a wonderful book, as I've always said, The Magician by Philip Cooper. But there is another book, and I've said this one before, but for those who are new, this is the book right here, Wisdom of the Mystic Masters. And it's very important that you get your mind together, whatever you're doing in life, but especially in magic. And I'm going to say this on the occult level. One of the biggest mistakes that people make when they start dealing with magic and they don't really understand the mechanics of it is they still approach it from a Abrahamic religious mind state. So you're getting rid of Islam or Christianity or whatever else. And then what happens is that you using magic and you basically just substituting it. Your patterns don't change. And the reason that your patterns don't change is because the mind is not only here to sabotage you, the mind likes comfortability. That's what the mind likes. It likes comfort. And the thing is, it doesn't want you to go outside of the lines of that comfort. That's not what it wants. Let me give you an example. Let's say you start learning magic and the same things you did when, let's say, you're doing Salat or the 7 prayers when it comes to Al-Islam. So when you're giving offerings to spirits, you start doing it from a religious aspect. Oh, I'm going to give this spirit something every day, or I'm going to give it something every weekend. Now, you get where I'm going with this? Or even when you go to the church or the Kingdom Hall, I'm going to do this every Sunday, or your Jehovah's Witnesses, I'm going to do field service. Let me say this. Spirits do not stay in one place. They're not just waiting on you to call upon them and conjure them. Okay, they have things that they have to do too. This is what spirits, gods, and goddesses have always wanted. They want respect and they want your appreciation. That is what they want. They're not expecting you to do something every single day. And I think a lot of people, they don't recognize their own patterns. They're so used to doing it, it's like a fish taking the water. So they have a slavish approach even when they're engaging in magic. And I want to say this in this book, Mystic Masters, it points this out. You can either take charge of your fate or your destiny, or you can become a slave to circumstance. And that's entirely up to you. But a lot of people don't recognize because they're so used to doing what they're doing. And the other thing is that when they're in their mind, the mind will always condition you to think of the worst case scenario. That is how the mind conditions you. And this is why a lot of people's magic doesn't succeed. Or if it do, it has lukewarm results. And the other thing is that a lot of people get involved and they don't realize how timid they are. A lot of people will ask for certain things. Oh, I want this spirit to come through and I want that. And then the spirit comes through and then you get shook. See, I've told people this over and over again. Magic will always show you not only how far you have to go or not only how far you have come, but who you really are, irrespective of what lie you tell yourself. So that is why the mind is set up to make you look like a divine idiot. And once you conquer and control the mind, the subconscious is easy because it's going to respond to symbols and repetition. That's what it's going to respond to. And the thing is, with the repetition and the symbols, it's going to carry it out because the subconscious mind doesn't have the prejudices that the conscious mind does. So your mind is set up to sabotage you. Imagine if you're in a relationship and one day you just say, hey, I love you, but you're drinking too much or you're gaining too much weight. I need you to do this, that, and the other, or we may have to part ways. Oh, and that person first, they may cry or say this or say that. But the thing is, very few people step up to challenges. They don't. They can tell you everything, but few people don't step up to challenges. Some people relish and thrive with a challenge. Other people just like, well, you was with me then. Yeah, but the thing is, what? What happens in a relationship a lot of times? Or what happens at your job? You get comfortable. Never get too comfortable. Because when you get too comfortable, that's when you never excel. Let that set in. So with that, that is your meat and potato assortment for the day. I am the Water Alchemist. Be water, my friends. Peace.